things are good in St. Louis with the Cards. I'm at least happy about that. The Blues, on the other hand, have a mixed reaction based off of what happened today. So enlighten me. Tell me other moves that happened today that you liked or disliked, and then we can discuss that.
Okay, so one thing I want to say, and I think this will excite you a little bit. So take the team that played in the first round this year against Winnipeg, and granted, we know Hellebuck was a Pez dispenser in that series,
Yeah,
and Winnipeg was better than us. Let's face that.
they
But
were.
and the Blues still do have holes as of right now. But if you take out Zach Bolduc and you insert Dylan Holloway into that series, I think they're, especially with the chemistry that him and Jordan Kyrou had, and we know that our guy Rue, I like to call him, is locked in for the season now,
You
more than
can't
likely.
get rid of him now. He's here. It went into full effect. I believe
And
last night at midnight.
yeah, and another thing I'm excited about is they haven't signed, they didn't sign Mikael Granlund. There was a lot of mixed reaction on him. I know he had some flash last year, but 3 times 7 million. Whenever you think about him being like 32, and you think about some of the players the Blues have up, I'm excited about Dvorsky. Like I'm telling you right now, this
Yeah,
guy is a legit player. You have to give him a chance, whether it's at wing or at center.
I'm excited.
Um, I mean, who says we can't have a second line of Kyrou, Dvorsky, and Holloway? I
Oh my,
mean,
could you imagine?
I mean, who?
That
That's not out of the stratosphere of possibilities this
that
year.
would be a great line.
Shen does not have to be the second line player just because Dvorsky hasn't proven himself yet. I mean, the guy needs to get a chance to do it, and he hasn't
Shen
really
should
had
be
that
on the third or
opportunity.
fourth line.
Yeah, and I'm not interested in seeing Dvorsky play on the fourth line. And keep in mind, those are the only minutes he's played so far
Yeah,
is
or
fourth
on
line
the
minutes.
fourth line.
And there's still Blues fans out here like judging him, telling like, "Oh, this guy's like a bust." It's like, are you joking? Like this guy played with
He's
Walker
not.
and Toropchenko, and then he goes back down to Springfield and just continues to light things up. And keep in mind, we also have Uraz Pekarek, who is his country mate, and he's coming up. He should be going pro this year and coming to Springfield. And I'm just super excited about the forwards. Like I think they could have not just a top six, but more of a top eight, like in
Just
terms
all
of
these
skill.
prospects, like Stencil and like
Thomas
I have to.
Mercick, Stenberg. I
I'm
mean,
a
it's
little
just
dramatic. I'm a little biased, but even my man Adam Juracek, I'm excited about him. Like there's
wait.
just
Why are you biased about him?
because at the draft last year, I had a one-on-one
Oh
with
yeah,
him because I was like one because it was in Vegas, so I was like one of the only like media members that did stuff with the
I
Blues,
remember you telling me this. Yeah.
and it was his birthday, and like we just had such a nice chat, even besides like the interview, and like you just root for certain players, and he was so excited to wear that blue note, Dylan, and that gets me excited when a player like
Love it.
Justin, when he was emotional, he told me he was brought to tears when he got drafted by the Blues this past weekend, Justin
Hmm.
Barbaneau, because
Oh, I'm so excited for
he
that
was so
player.
excited about wearing the blue.
And you
Oh,
know
what?
what? That player, that draft pick, a lot of times you don't hear about picks for a year or two, but this guy seems like he's ready to like straight up
Yeah, he'll be ready
like
soon.
I mean, he's talking about the gym and talking about the training staff and getting on the ice and
Yeah, he wants to know where
I
the
don't
gym is
know.
and meet the staff and get on the ice.
I mean, I don't know that I don't know how he got to 19. This dude looks I was watching some of his videos and I'm just like, "Whoa,
You
this
know
guy
why he got to
is."
19? Because all these teams wanted centers and defensemen. And the Blues were smart. I mean, at the moment, I was a little bit confused. I'm like, oh, we don't need a winger. But now it makes sense because when all of like the centers and defensemen got drafted, you left a guy, in my opinion, I thought he was going to go top 10 or at least top
Oh, what an insane development. When you first read it, you're like a winger, but then it's like
yeah.
you see the guy play, you hear him talk, you see his body. It's like, holy cow,
He
this guy
posted
could be
like
ready like next, like maybe not this year, but
next year he'll be
2027.
yeah.
Like, like whoa, this dude could play, and his tape is just
It's
wow.
wicked.
Yeah.
He's good, like beyond good. And this is why I'm so excited about the future because they have so many great guys now in the system. But a guy that the Blues don't have anymore, and I'm kind of laughing a little bit because this is so ridiculous. Foxa, goes back to Dallas. Insane amount of money, a couple milli AAV. That's first off overpay. Secondly, he was mid, and I don't like using that word. He did what he needed to do. Was he a standout guy? No. Was he bad? No. But was he worth I think it was 2.2 million? No.
Yeah. It's a good point. I don't know if you know this, but Nick Bukestad is 6'6", so he's a big body
Oh
coming
yeah,
into
no,
the
he's
first line.
huge. We didn't even talk about him.
No, and that's it. I mean, that's effectively Fox's replacement as of now. And
Yeah.
Armstrong said today that he got word from Fox's camp last night that he felt like that it wasn't going to work out. So they started working on a second option, which would explain why Bukestad was signed at I don't know, an hour after free agency started today or 2 hours.
Right after, yeah.
So obviously they probably thought that Foxa they could get him done. It didn't work out, and you pivot and you bring in a player who's 6'6". His J Fresh card, plugged to J Fresh, was really good. I think he was a 65% percentile player, high finishing upside. The downside to Bukestad is he's not remotely close to what Foxa was defensively. But if you shore up your defense and you get a more collective effort from the rest of the forwards, you don't have to rely so much on your fourth line to play all those checking minutes against good teams. So,
exactly.
Yeah, Foxa, and again, I mentioned Granlund earlier. I'm not losing sleep over Foxa. I wanted him back. People were upset about it, but it's you can find fourth line centers. I mean, and Alexandrov too is ready to come and play, and people forgot. He's another guy. Yeah, he's another that role very seriously, and I'm excited about him. And the biggest Nathan Walker fan, so it's maybe he gets replaced. I love him too, but his game.
Oh yeah, no, his game isn't. I agree. I'm on the same page. Really fast about Books. I just want to give a couple stats. 32 years old right now. He's played a total of 760 games. Throughout those 760 games, 157 goals and 173 assists. Again, we talk about him being 6'6", huge guy. Last season, though, he played with 20. Utah. You know what's funny about Utah? I still want to say Arizona. I'm not used to the Utah now.
I was just in Phoenix, and all I could think about is the Coyotes the whole time. I don't know why.
So last year, 8 goals, 19 points total in 66 games. Again, he is probably right now, as we were talking, third line center. Maybe if the Blues acquire some better talent, no disrespect, maybe fourth line center. Right now, I could see him being fourth line center and Shen being third line center. However, I could also see Buxet being third line center and Shenny being fourth line center.
As long as Shen isn't second line center, I don't really care.
I'm good. No second, no first. Just keep him in the bottom 6. He's still gonna get the C.
Yep, you want me to bigger Shen fan, but I'm okay. I'm okay with him.
I love Shenny, but keep him down. But another thing that I'm a little upset about, and I talked about this yesterday. I had Michael Meyer on, not the Halloween character, Blues prospect guy.
That guy is the best.
He's awesome.
That dude is the best. I have his notifications on Twitter.
That's why I said to him too.
That dude.
And he was like, "You do?" And I'm like, "Yeah."
He's legit. That dude is awesome.
Awesome. So Ryan Suter, I am so upset about this, and I think this is going to lead to him retiring. No one's gonna want him.
He's taken back.
I would really too.
Over Leddy,
league minimum.
I would send Leddy to I don't even know where, anywhere. Seattle. And I know that I love the players, and I think Leddy's a good guy, even though he's a former Blackhawk. But
he has to say that. That doesn't help.
No, and we got rid of the other one last year with Brandon Saad, but yeah, it's Faulk and Leddy, and I just was man, we're gonna. Suter at one point in time was carrying the defense almost to a degree. And
he was on the first pair.
Yeah, and
he worked his butt off.
it makes sense too because you have Jurashek, you have Ralph, you have Malu who's coming, and it's like okay, you don't really want to give term to somebody, but you need a reliable player, and it's like, man, I'd be very surprised if Suter did something happen. Like, was there something announced that like with
Yeah.
him? What
So
was announced?
so what happened was Suits was saying, hey, I would love to come back and be a part of the Blues. If my wife says yes, then, I'll play another season. And then Doug said, it was like a couple pressers ago, essentially, yeah, we're not going to re-sign him.
Oh, see,
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And here's my issue. And this is my quick little vent really fast. Fox's line. One of the best lines, honestly, in the back half of the season in the playoffs. I'm not going to deny that, okay? Not saying that. Listen, that's a fact. Suter carried the defense, especially that first half. Like, he really stepped up big when Leddy was out. My question is, you add in these new guys, one of them who is not going to be ready until next season on defense. You still have Nick Leddy and Justin Faulk. Sorry, call me a hater. They're not going to help.
Call me one too. I mean,
So,
if I have to watch Justin Faulk give away one more puck whenever we're on a 6-on-5 in the last minute of a game, I seriously might, I don't know, like spontaneously combust or something. And he, I better just stop.
It's bad. Like, and I was convinced that Suter would play one last season here in St. Louis, repping the Blue Note, and then he would call it quits and retire. He would help the younger guys. I am so disappointed, honestly, with that decision.
Yeah, I almost guarantee. I mean, Cody Ceci, didn't he just get like a 4-year deal today? I mean, you can't tell me that guy is that much better than Ryan Suter played last year. Like I don't care that Suter is old.
He can still play. He plays
He
better than Faulk and Leddy.
and he's old school and he's tough on the ice and he
So
doesn't take
tough.
any shit. And I don't know. He's always just like laughing and having fun. He's great for the room.
Right in the locker room. When I saw him in Philly, I was in the locker room and he said to me jokingly, he's like, hey, where's the best cheesesteaks at? Like, that was because he heard my accent. I guess I said something where it sounded a little bit, not.
That's what I would ask you if I saw you in
and like, I'm like, I wasn't even interviewing him. I think I was interviewing Kyrou, and he like said that, and I was like, "This is a funny." Like, you can kind of tell players' personalities. But if no one picks him up, I say league minimum. You can't go wrong by having somebody that stepped up for your organization big time. And if I ask you this right now, though. And this is a question I saw circulating on Twitter, and I don't know who posted it, so I would give credit, but I don't know who did it. So if it was your question, whoever's watching or whatever, then my apologies. Do you think the St. Louis Blues, as of right now today, and let's go say theoretically, Holloway is healthy and he's able to play, are they better than they were a year ago?
Yes.
I am on the same page. So
most people will tell you no right now, but just
they are.
Let it resonate for a few days. Get this kid on the ice, get him into camp, get him into practice. And again, trust our Doug Armstrong. I think I told you this in the end of season, Haley. I think I told you that I expect one more trick for Doug Armstrong before he calls it.
I think another offer sheet's going to happen.
Yeah, they were talking offer sheet for Bowen Byram. You're thinking of a hockey trade involving either Faulk or Leddy. There's a lot on the table. There is, and again, he's not really a July 1st kind of guy. He never has been.
We saw that with Broberg and Holloway.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't find that out until what? Like, I don't even remember when that was finalized.
It was like very, very late July or early August. It was late.
And Can we just take a second to just talk about that one more time before it's formally put to bed? Also, RIP Edmonton Oilers, 2x Stanley Cup champions. So sorry about their fans that totally just bashed Dylan Holloway and Philip Broberg for leaving the Oilers because they got more money and more opportunity. Like I saw one, oh, I better not keep going, but I
No,
was so
please do.
sad to see. I was so sad to see the Oilers lose twice in a row. Like that was just, that hurt.
You know what
But
I thought about? I was like, wow. And I'm talking about this past Stanley Cup. If only they had a young guy within maybe, let's just say a Dylan Holloway, a young guy on defense like a Philip Broberg.
yeah, I mean they just
They won
traded
it.
Arvidsson. They just traded Arvidsson today to Boston. It's like imagine if that team
Yeah.
last year instead of Wallman and Arvidsson and Skinner had Holloway and Broberg.
That makes you think. And then when
Yeah.
you know what gets me though? When Oilers fans commented on my video after we lost to the Jets and they said, wow, look at Holloway not showing up. I'm like, bro,
Oh, I
he
know.
was out. He didn't even play. He was
I know.
injured.
I remember one guy tweeted that night like Dylan Holloway eliminated from the playoffs, and I wanted to I was like, dude, like,
Did you even watch it?
like also by the way, your Stanley Cups have dust on them, just so you know. But that's okay.
Ours. You know what I did order though? I ordered the new Note hat.
Oh my god, I could spend $1,000 on
And
that.
then I'll tell you something crazy that I did because the sweaters are not released yet. This is actually insane. I went on like one of those like custom jersey websites. I swear to God. And I like did my best to kind of like do a replica of like the new sweater. It may not look the best, but I did a Robert Thomas one. So I put like, Thomas 18. I put like the new Note. I took a screenshot of it. I hope it comes out okay. I was so excited. I'm obsessed. The Heritage Note was my favorite out of any. So
which one do you like? Do you like the white
no
one
way.
or that is literally a top 3 jersey in the NHL right now.
We need to do a jersey ranking before the season begins.
I am so down.
That would be
that is my favorite. That is I've been obsessed with like uniforms for Vegas has a sick jersey.
They do. I have a Marc-Andre Fleury. I don't like Vegas, but I have one of his. I've never worn it. It's a collectible.
I have a Patrick Laine jersey in my closet.
You know the hockey guy on YouTube that has like a bunch.
Yes.
So I got into this phase where I was like, oh my goodness, I want to be like that. And then after buying the one from Vegas, I was like, yeah, I can't afford to be like him. So it just sits in the back of my closet. But I'm like, yeah, I have a Marc-Andre Fleury sweater because one of the greats. But Vegas, oh, by the way, with Vegas, with them adding Mitch Marner and the talent that they already have, if they win a freaking Stanley Cup again, I am going to explode. I hate the Golden Knights. They're the most scumbaggy organization. LTIRs. Scumbags.
Yeah, I mean, hey, it would be easy to hand out 8-year deals to guys if you know you're just going to throw them on LTIR after their 5th season.
Wait, you know what's funny about that though? Like, honestly, it's so hilarious to me that with us right now in the Blues and our situation, like we have to worry about cap space. The Knights, like they probably are like, oh, LTIR.
I know when you get off this pod, if you haven't seen it yet, look at the video they posted of Mitch Marner like showing up to Vegas today and putting on his jersey. Mitch Marner is like in there just like dancing around with his baby wearing a jersey, and all I can think of is like, oh, Mitch Marner just got paid $12 million to give you like 2 points in a playoff series against Edmonton next year in the 2nd round. Like, and I think Marner's a good regular season player. He was good in formations. Yeah, like I don't know. Don't shoot the messenger. Like someone said, Marner would be the Blues' best forward, and I'm like, all right, well, I'll take Thomas all day. Holloway's getting up there.
Robert Thomas is better than Mitch Marner.
I agree. I 100% agree. Robert Thomas is the most underrated player in the NHL. One of them.
This is why we get along.
Like 100 points this year if he plays the whole season. I mean, first of all, he gets hurt. They tell us 6 weeks. Do you remember that?
Yeah, and he came back like
this last year. Comes back in 4 weeks. I guess his bones are just made of titanium, and then like still has like 80 points in the season, and I'm just dreaming of him playing all season with like
I need
Snuggerud.
Team
Oh,
Canada for the Olympics.
he has to be.
Yeah.
Has to be. He's earned it. He has. His defense coming around, like talking about watching tape of Patrice Bergeron last offseason. I mean, and Montgomery is here. I mean, Thomas is going to be a dog this year. He's just getting better every season. We have him for what, 8 million, 8.2 or something like
Yeah,
that.
it's the same as Kyrou. So yeah, I want to say it's
So yeah, you go ahead and give Mitch Marner 12 million. I'll take Robert Thomas for 8.2 all day, every day. Think about it. We have Thomas and Kyrou for 16 million, and they're paying Marner 12 million.
we have
So
this deal. And okay, one last thing before we wrap this up. I have to tell you, there were so many tweets about Jordan Kyrou, about how he's going to get traded.
ooh.
Do fans not realize, and I'm not trying to make anybody sound stupid, but do people not realize that he has a no trade clause that went into effect today? Like, they're not trading him. Like,
Yeah, guys don't just like, guys don't just like waive those things either.
no.
I don't think people really want to get traded. And Kyrou has been through a lot with the Blues.
A lot.
And people question his like compete, and people will tell you that he wasn't competing in that Winnipeg series. Miss me with that, because if he had Holloway in that series, I'm sorry, but he was playing with completely different players. Kyrou and Holloway were so good last year together. I don't care that he got hit by Logan Stanley. By the way, who's ever heard of Logan Stanley? I haven't. Like, I don't care that he got hit and was like, I don't know, didn't score a lot of points in that series. The Blues weren't going to win the cup this year anyway. Like, I will ride with Kyrou. I don't care. That guy's had like 35-point goals in the last like 4 years. I mean, and people just can't wait to trade him.
In 3 seasons. But yeah, let's trade Kyrou. He's not good. Okay.
I want to ask those people what they think Brett Hull was like, because all he did was hang out at the blue line and score, just like what Kyrou. Like, Kyrou is more defensive. Like, he's at least trying to work on his defense,
and
he's had a better. Yeah, it's improving. Like, last year was really good, like 25-30% better than what I've seen. And
last year was his best season.
100%. And he came around on the defense, and he cares about his game, and he cares about the note, and
he cares about the fans.
I don't understand the fan base sometimes. It's just like,
I spoke to Kyrou last year, and he remembered me from the previous year, and like he took okay, so with the other team that I cover, again, not a fan of the other team. It's just a job. I always have to tell people that, like,
wait, you're not a Flyers fan at all?
No.
Okay.
I'm a Blues fan. And it's funny, everybody in Flyers media, they all know that I'm a Blues fan because during the Flyers games, I have up the Blues games and I'm cheering on the Blues. Like, that's what's even more funny. Like, if I wasn't a Blues fan, would I be walking around in Philadelphia with my Blue note on?
Yeah, how's that go? Do you get like stuff thrown at you?
No, a lot of people actually come up to me and they say like, "Oh, you're a Blues fan," and I'm like, "Yeah," and they're like, "Oh, I went to a Blues game," or this girl the other day was like, "Oh, I went to college near St. Louis." So like a lot of cool interactions, but it's like funny, like I really do love the Blues. So for me, it's funny because it's like one of those things where people get that misconception. And I'm like, if I could live in St. Louis, I would. Like, I would. And I've said that numerous times. And I've looked even to living in St. Louis. The problem is my job that I do is here. So, and I was trying to go out to a game last year and the plane tickets were like $500.
You need to follow 101 ESPN and hit them up and see if they would ever let you on board.
But I do. That's where I listen to the games when I'm driving. So it's funny because like I feel like my whole entire life here is centered around the Blues. So anyways, with the Flyers, when I talk to those guys, sometimes like you can tell that they're disengaged because it's such a big media market in Philadelphia that they're always getting asked questions.
Got the Eagles going on and all that stuff.
So with the it's kind of like Flyers will look like a small market compared to the Maple Leafs. So with the Blues, because we're not the biggest market, even though we have fans all over the world, which I love, whenever I speak to the players and they know that for me, like this is the one time of the year where I can actually see them in person and talk to them, Kyrou takes like 5 to 10 minutes. Like, he genuinely is a nice human being. And every conversation that we've had, he always brings up his love for the fan base in the city. Like, I've talked to a lot of hockey players throughout my life. He is the only one that brings it up on his own.
Yeah, no, that you have you hell, you even talked to John Tortorella, who I don't know about how that is like.
He shut me down a lot. He talks to me about dogs and like rescues. But like when I would talk to him about like the actual game itself, I would be like, oh, defense tonight looks slow. PK is still a problem. How we're going to address this is Rocky Thompson coming up with a new plan on, the power play. Like, I would just ask him a bunch of questions, every single question. No, I'm not answering that. You guys are making up false narratives.
Yeah,
Like,
that guy's a trip. But yeah, just going back to your original, Kyrou is just 40 goals this year, 100 points for Thomas. Get Kyrou a center, whether that's Dvorsky or I'd never mentioned Pius Suter. He may have signed while we're doing this pod.
I'm looking now actually to see if that happened.
The reason I like him is because he's a really good penalty killer, and the Blues penalty kill was not good last year.
Unbelievable. Now,
Did he sign?
No, Chris Johnston, who does stuff for The Athletic, he's posting the pictures of Mitch Marner with his VGK sweater. And I'm like, is this like a Mitch Marner fan club over here? Like, no other player is getting this kind of love on social media from the national people.
Yeah. I mean, he's always been kind of a popular guy. I remember when he was a prospect.
Right now he is still available.
Sutter's still available?
Yeah.
I mean, hey, maybe if we lose one Sutter, maybe you'll be happy if we get another one. I don't know if they're pronounced.
Nothing's going to compare to Ryan.
No, nothing will compare to him.
That's why this is going to drive him into retirement. I think that's why I'm so annoyed about it. Because imagine, like, you're like, oh, I'll play one more year. My wife said it was okay. Like, we love St. Louis. We're making the sacrifice. All we want to do is live here. And then boom. Yeah, we don't want to resign this guy. Like,
I know there has to be something more because it doesn't make sense with what the roster looks like right now that they wouldn't let him play.
I suspect within the next month, and we're going to leave this episode on a hot take as we're approaching 45. This is we actually spoke a lot today. Within the next month, I expect both Nick Leddy and Justin Faulk to be gone and traded.
If that happens, I don't know. I'm gonna have to like Venmo you some money or something.
No, please don't. We can just take a deep breath, nail that. We know that a last-minute goal won't go in the net.
And I won't ever have to watch the opposition score in front of the net while Nick Leddy is standing there with his arms at his side, not doing anything.
You could have done more than Nick Leddy did.
I know. My dog could have boxed out more than that guy. I mean, sorry, man.
Well, hey, listen, as of today, July 1st, the Blues are a better team. Obviously, we're going to miss Zach Bolduc a lot. But, Dylan, we're going to have to talk later this summer as we always have such great conversations. Again, thank you so much for joining Locked on Blues. And to all of you watching, again, right now, it is about 7:50 Central. So these are all the moves that happened today. If anything else happens, do not come for me. We're only talking about what we were able to process throughout the day. But again, if any breaking news, it's going to be on Twitter at Locked on Blues. I will talk to you tomorrow. And like always, let's go Blues.